So I'm talking now specifically about these 4 receivers here, 2 Marantz and 2 Denon. Obviously, the first thing, they all gain AirPlay on and off control now. They all gain the ability to automatically rename HDMI sources that are connected. So the Sony Blu-ray player will rename itself automatically, like the lower end models did last year. Bluetooth transmission to headphones is of course integrated in now as well. And lastly, sports bar mode, where you can access one input while listening to the sound of another, is all integrated into these 4 new models as well. So there's 4 new features where these finally catch up to the models like the 3600 and the NR 1710 and things like that. Now, things you don't know, or things you may not know, is deleted features. 5 AV receivers have lost their front HDMI inputs. 2 Denon models, 3700 and 2700, and 3 Marantz models no longer have a HDMI socket on the front panel. In fact, the 1710 has lost one off the back as well. So it's actually got 2 less inputs. Secondly, you obviously have worked this out probably. When it's a C, there's no tuner built in. So the 47, 37, 7015, and 6015 all don't have radios inside them anymore. But the upside is we have gained an external analog, another input that the Americans don't have in their versions. Excuse me. So we do have an analog RCA input replacing the tuner module instead on all these models. Now this is a little bit fiddly detailed, this one. Analog video to HDMI, converting component video and composite video into a HDMI output cannot be done now on an AVCX 3700 or the NR 1710. Or to put it another way, if someone has a Panasonic DVD hard drive recorder like the one I've got sitting on my shelf behind me with component video out, I would have to buy a 4700 receiver or a Marantz 5015 to convert that component video to HDMI. Furthermore, HD analog video, so that's 720p analog and 1080p analog, is no longer supported on all models. Only 480i and 576i can come in through these sockets and go out through the HDMI output now. All right, so that is a substantial legacy support really being dialed backwards in this era of TV apps feeding audio back down via eARC and Apple TV and Chrome. All these digital connections are really making legacy not needed. And lastly, the last deleted feature is Crestron Connected. This only lasted for a few years. I think Joe and I launched it when we dressed up as the Blues Brothers in Sydney and announced our support of this. Crestron seemed to have lost interest in providing support for third-party products to run their platform. So Sound United is simply discontinuing it as a supported feature. It's apparently not been well supported by Crestron, so they're pulling it out, okay? So those are the 4 or 5 things that have been removed.